At 43 years old, I have had so many realizations after I turned 43. For some reason, it's like my conscious is fusing all of the experiences that I've had with my current reality and unveiling things to me. And I already did a video on why I never had kids, and now I want to touch on why I never got married either at 43. It's a reflection that has just come into my conscious. So there's so much jargon on here about men, women, like trying to get inside of the psyche of a man and like why he does the things that he does. And like a lot of the rhetoric is that men are inherently so selfish. And this is just the way that they are instinctually, right? And women are the nurturers, women are the givers, women are the ones that will cater to a man and make a man the center of her universe, right? And I think that is what a lot of the videos tend to be about on this app is, like decentering men, or like a lot of women getting divorced in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and being like, I got my glow back, or like, I'm getting my shine back after divorce or whatever. Like I said, I am not saying a hierarchy situation of where like, haha, I never had kids, I never got married, I'm smarter than you. Like, I would never vibe like that towards another woman. I think all women are amazing. I think women walk a very hard path, and I believe that every woman's path is different than other women, right? So the reason why I realize now, like what has come into my conscious, I always thought there was something wrong with me why I never got married. I was always like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Like everybody's getting married, having kids, locking down. And I just realized like my level of awareness was somewhere else. I've been in 3 long-term relationships. One was 9 years, one was 7 years, and one was 5. They're very significant relationships. I've been engaged twice. And I always thought, like I said, something was wrong with me. But now, putting the pieces together, I realized that I am just more selfish than any man could possibly be.
So basically you're useless, right? I mean, you don't add any value to anyone, don't add any value to anyone's life. I mean, and I know, I get it. Some women are going to say, oh, well, you don't know that she might be taking care of her mother. She might be doing this. She might be doing that. I mean, once again, hey, yeah, granted, you might serve that purpose. I mean, but once again, your main purpose is to be on earth, to procreate, have children, have a family. That's literally our main purpose that is on earth. It's only women who then try to say, hey, well, we have more of a purpose than that. Well, what is a purpose? They can't even tell you. And then when they do find something, it's, oh, well, maybe it's me being a lawyer. Maybe it's me being this. Maybe, you can still be a wife and you can still take care of the household while being a lawyer. You know that, right? And this is where they try to come up with all these excuses and try to bring up the past and all this stuff. And this is like, once again, you women have created a society where y'all have now just gotten so lazy that once again, y'all only want to do what y'all want to do. But the second a man requires you to do something, it becomes an issue. But y'all don't have an issue with adhering to what the man wants at your job that's cutting your paycheck. It's ridiculous. And then we're going to have the women that say, oh, well, yeah, he is cutting our paycheck. You're not. But I am the one that's taking care of you. I am the one that's having to protect you. I am the one that's having to put my life on the line for you. If I lose my life, you get to go out here and go deal with another man. So once again, a lot of you women try to take advantage, and it's just sick. It's very sick. But once again, you don't add any value. You're not adding any value. And I get it. You're going to have some women out here, man, who are in their 30s, 40s. And I'm not saying that y'all are useless. I mean, let's be honest. But I'm just saying, when we're just talking about in the sense of what you are put here on earth for, you are put here on earth to procreate and, to be fruitful, multiply, and have a family. And our women in our community do not encourage, having families enough. And that's just a fact. Look at what we encourage. Look at the shade room. Look at what they encourage. Look at what your black women encourage. They encourage single motherhood. They encourage, rebelling against a man. This is why in the 1960s, they said, hey, well, listen, forget the black family. Let's go ahead, man, and let's rebel against the black man. Let's go ahead and become a feminist. And these black women became a feminist. You destroy the black home. This is where you see the divorce rates skyrocket and the marriage rates decrease. And then guess what happened in the 1980s, right? Where now women are saying, hey, well, I'd rather rely on EBT, right, and white zaddy than having to rely on the man who gave me a child. And when we just look at all your women here in America today, they're radicalized, right? They are just freaking radicalized. This chick right here is just radicalized, right? I mean, because once again, when you look at how your men were living and how your women were living in the 60s, 50s, 40s, those women lived under the means of the man. Those women lived under the means of the man. Now women today are hypergamous. They only love in abundance. You have to freaking be able to provide them this. You have to take them on these vacations. You have to take them to these stores. You have to take them here to restaurants. It's just like, man, look, and a lot of these women don't know how to just relax and sit down. I mean, you know, people who were pretty much, who grew up in my generation, who were born after who were born in the 90s. I mean, once again, you see all of these women, right? Especially women who were in high school and, 2016, 15, 14, women who were in college, they always traveled. Right, a lot of women travel, and that turns off a lot of guys, because a lot of guys are like, this is an experience that I would like to have with women, but we really not going to be able to have these experiences until we kind of reach a financial stride in our life, right? We sitting over here blowing all this money while we're young, but once again, I mean, you want to sit here and it's just ridiculous. These women want to prioritize a company that does not care about them. That once they hit 50, 60, they do something wrong, a company's going to let you go. And then what? These are going to be the same women that jump on TikTok to cry and complain about the same company that they sat here and fought for because they don't want to sit here and adhere to a man. Oh, I want to fight to be able to work. Then you get to work, then they want to complain about work. It just doesn't make any sense. Once again, ladies, prioritize families. And then she said that she's been engaged twice, that she's been in all these long relationships, but yet she says that, hey, well, listen, this just means that, I just have a different level of consciousness. No, you have a different level of delusion, ma'am. This is just another form of cope, people. That's all that is, just another form of cope. And I'm not even trying to go hard on the sister, but that's all that really is. She is making this about accountability, but then she turns around and says that, oh, well, a lot of men are selfish too. Man, why do you even need to say that? Just take the accountability and keep it moving. But as I've always stated, your women will either hold man and woman accountable at the same time, or just hold men accountable. But they will never hold women accountable, because once again, they don't want to take that accountability. They can never be held accountable. Literally a great example of misery loves company. Right? It's just sad. It's sick. It's sick, but it's really only women who are selfish, which is why 70 to 80% of them initiate divorce.
I am just more selfish. And men are selfish. And the reason why I say this, let me hold up. Let me explain myself what I mean. Being in long-term relationships, right? You get to see every single shadow of the person that you're with, everything that they have dealt with, their childhood trauma, all the things, right? Throughout that relationship, the energies shift and change. Things happen in a relationship and people just end up showing you who they are. I am so selfish that I just want to be treated a certain kind of way for the entirety of my whole relationship. And I don't even know if that's feasible. I don't even know if that's a doable thing, where it's like, I want to be respected through and through. I want to be treated like a queen or a princess or whatever you want to call it. And I'm delusional. I am a Sagittarius, and I have a very whimsical imagination where romance is so important to me. But I also realized that the reason why I never ended up getting married and broke off the engagements and relationships was because I just wasn't getting my needs met in the way that I whimsically romanticized getting my needs met in the relationship. And after a 9, 7, and 5-year relationship, you just see the whole dynamic. It just changes. So yeah, I've come to that realization at 43, where it's like, I'm the problem, but in a good way, where it's like my expectations are just way too high. And I joke about this all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna die with 3 cats, and I'm gonna be the old crazy cat lady. I've already kind of turned into that, but I am so proud of it. My ex, the last ex that I had, ended up being very verbally abusive, and I bolted. I left that relationship so fast. He would always be like, you're gonna be crazy cat lady, and I'd be like, really? Am I? He would try to say mean shit, and I'd be like, that's awesome, because my cat has never left my side, and my cat loves me every day, and I have so much joy and peace. You know what I mean? So I just figured I wanted to share this with you ladies. If this comes across anybody who's younger, who's like in their 20s or early 30s or whatever, and they're like, I need, to get married, or these are the things that I want. And you may psychologically put pressure on yourself, but maybe the truth is that you're choosing yourself.
Once again, notice how no man comes on the internet unless if they just some moist, soft brother who still has they mama titty in their mouth.
How old is that nigga?
That nigga 15 years old, dog.
Yo, well, he sound like he 15 months old. That nigga sound like he got a nipple in his mouth.
No man comes on here and tell other men, oh, well, these women, they're going to be, they're going to have, trauma. Some people are going to grow up with trauma. These women, you just got to be this, and, you got to learn how to navigate. You got to be patient. Men are not talking about that. Men will sit here and tell you that, hey, man, listen, you just got to use discernment and understand this is how much baggage you really should take. Some women are going to have some bodies. That's fine. But if you're talking about a woman, man, who has a bunch of bodies, a woman who has a very traumatic past, a woman who has, once again, some guys are going to turn their nose up to that and they're going to look the other way. But let's just be honest here, right? Let's just keep it a bean. Most of your men will still deal with a woman who has a traumatic past. They ain't got to tell other guys that. Why? Because once again, as long as they ain't freaking something super traumatic, we already know you have some women, man, their uncles did some stuff. These women went through something, man, that was inevitable, that they didn't really have no control over. We get that. So guys will still overlook that and say, okay, that should pass. It is what it is. I will still cuff you. But they're not going to sit here and try to have a whole soliloquy and then jump on TikTok and talk about it. There's no need to. It's no need to, because once again, men just use common sense. Men understand that, hey, man, listen, we understand women are the weakest ones. And I mean, there's no way that every man that come across a woman, she's not going to have a traumatic past. We understand they're going to have a traumatic past. Just as long as what did you do with that traumatic past? Because a lot of your women who are strippers, who are on OF, who are in the industry, what do they say? Oh, well, I had a traumatic past. This is why I spread my butt cheeks on the damn pole every single night. I mean, because once again, these women would make up some of the most egregious excuses just to excuse their piss poor behavior, and that's the sad part about it. And once again, I just look at her and I'm just like, man, like you swear up and down that you're aware, that you're this, that you're that, that you're this, and it's just like, where do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here? You understand that what you're doing is wrong, but yet y'all will still complain about it. Y'all will still sit up here and make a TikTok video about it instead of just making a change. And people, here is your modern day American woman. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. This is freaking ridiculous. Instead of fixing the problem, you'd rather just talk about it on TikTok. Doesn't make any sense. But I mean, once again, man, you just got to understand that you are the issue, and at least she's aware of it. But once again, you being aware of it, what does that mean, right? If you're not willing to do anything to make a change. But do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Till the next one.